We're super happy to be here. We're thrilled to see the engagement from 30-some startups who are with us this week, and about a dozen of those folks came out of Accelerators who are part of our network as well, so that's always fun to see. I'm Dani Larson, as Jackie mentioned. I head up global partnerships for the GAN, Global Accelerator Network, and we represent about 80 accelerators around the globe, roughly half of those programs in the US and then the other half outside of the US, helping startups through investment, through mentorship, through guidance in launching their businesses wherever they are. So I'm joined here for the first discussion by a couple of friends who are also heavily involved with our network as well. To my left is Ryan Negri of Iron Yard Ventures here in Las Vegas, so a local. And to my right is Tony from SendGrid, and he is representing the partnership that we have with their company and our network. So I want to have a discussion today with these two just about working with accelerators, what is this whole accelerator thing all about, and getting corporations involved with the process and what that can look like. So just want to start with Ryan and have you do a quick intro of yourself. And maybe just start by answering the question, what the heck is an accelerator anyway?
All right, thank you. Is this on? So my name is Ryan Negri, Managing Director of the Iron Yard Ventures Hospitality and Gaming Accelerator here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the first hospitality and gaming accelerator in Las Vegas, rightfully so. It's a great industry. Hospitality and gaming is prevalent in Las Vegas, so we decided to open up this accelerator vertically focused on the industries in Las Vegas. To answer her question, an accelerator is an engine or a place to take an idea or product and turn that into a business or a company. That's the easiest explanation to it. If you've got something early stage, you need help, you need mentorship, you need advice, you need funding, you'd go to an accelerator and accelerate your company.
Cool, good, thanks for that. And Tony, I want to give you the chance to do a quick intro on yourself and what is SendGrid?
Yeah, so my name is Tony Blank, and I'm on SendGrid's community development team. SendGrid actually went through an accelerator in 2009. We went through Techstars in Boulder. And what we do is we help send the world's wanted email. We actually were first to market with a transactional email API to send emails programmatically from developers. Through using code. We also have a marketing campaign product as well. My background, I come from a software engineering background, working with a number of startups, and the last couple of years I've been a developer evangelist, evangelizing APIs, and we really enjoy working with GAN and all the member programs and helping out the teams.
Cool. So some pretty relevant perspectives here, both from operating an accelerator, and Ryan's also a startup founder himself, has started several businesses successfully. And then on the other side, a company who went through an accelerator to great success, has grown and is actually coming back to help foster a community of startups who are getting their start around the world. So Ryan, just back to you really quickly. I guess from your perspective of running an accelerator program, what are the various different ways that people could start to get involved with what you guys are doing? I mean, it's a little bit of a tough model to approach for some folks. It's a really short-term program. People are often unclear about, what would it mean to come on board as a mentor or even an early-stage investor in one of these programs. So we'd love to just hear from your perspective, what does getting involved with an accelerator really look like from,
So getting involved from a team or founder standpoint is quite simple. You look for application to accelerators, to incubators. You can use sites like AngelList, F6S, and locate an accelerator either near you or in an industry that your company is involved in. From a mentorship or an advisor standpoint, it's really the same. Visit these accelerator sites online and ask how you can get involved. Reach out, contact us pages work all the time. From a corporate standpoint, it's a little more difficult because a lot of accelerators operate, I don't want to say quietly, but they're not known as big as a huge convention like CTIA. It's a 3-month program with 7 to 10 startups. They're generally pretty quiet because they're working on scaling their business. There's not a lot of media about them. So you really have to try to dig in if you're one of the corporations and want to get involved. Look for companies in your space and see where they're working from, if they've applied to accelerators. And you can actually visit accelerators. You can actually visit our accelerator in Las Vegas and meet all 6, 7 of the teams and get to know them and see if you can possibly acquire one of the companies, hire them. It's an easy way to get new technology into your corporation, and it's also an easy way to get millennials to work for you.
There you go. Some good advice. Okay, so then jumping back a little bit, I liked what you said about startups getting involved with an accelerator. How should they go about that? Maybe, Tony, from your perspective, why should they go about that? I know that you weren't on the founding team of SendGrid that originally went through Techstars, but you're certainly working for a product of that success today. So why should a couple of founders give up a little bit of equity and go to a program like this? What are they expecting to get out of it?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. And through the role that I have at SendGrid right now, we have a startup program. So that's what I largely go to accelerators and hold office hours and work with these teams very closely. And through seeing and meeting with founders, we usually have a couple of touch points throughout the program, and then we also work with them for a number of months after they graduate, and seeing the difference in what a lot of the teams think is important in that first meeting compared to what they think is important later on after they've gone through the program and they've gotten the advice and the help of the mentorship and the resources that these programs have. It really is a fantastic crash course to really fill in the gaps on how to run a healthy business and get traction and create that engine to have a functioning, healthy company. And in talking with SendGrid's founders, all 3 are still at SendGrid. They have very positive things to say about the program. What they even thought the product was at the start of the program and what it was at the end was quite different. And that was largely shaped by the mentorship and advice and guidance by the network that's associated with the accelerator.
Cool. So some real transformation or learning and growth at the very least happening during these programs. Yeah. What about from the perspective of a corporate partner now? So SendGrid started out, 3 guys went through an accelerator program in little Boulder, Colorado. How many employees do you guys know?
Just over 300.
So they're doing okay. And they've come back to really support this community of startups. And can you just tell us a little bit about why? Why on earth does SendGrid want to grow their business with early stage companies? Why on earth do you guys find value in providing mentorship and guidance to these groups? Other than, they're cool people, but why does SendGrid want to do that just from your own business objectives?
Yeah, well, there's a number of really good pros that are involved with working with the community and building up a community of founders and startups. I think that the origin, right? The origin of the program, I think, is just, we're a 7-year-old company now, but that's not too far back in our collective memory to remember the first 6 months after we left the program and trying to grow something there. And specifically with the kind of product that we have, email and customer engagement, it really is a perfect blend of the kind of help that a lot of these startups need. Many times, marketing and customer engagement is stuff that's not super well understood with the original founders and everything. So coming in and helping them out certainly is valuable to the teams. To SendGrid, we certainly understand that if it's tough out there for startups, and if they don't make it past the first or second year, they're not going to be able to grow and become really great email senders on year 5, 6, and 7. And right now, if you look at some of SendGrid's customers, they're coming from startups. It's we have customers like Airbnb and Uber and Spotify, along with larger brands like Walmart. But a large portion of our customer base are startups that are very successful, and we are empowered to go out and do what we can to help out startups so that they can grow to become good customers down the road.
Cool, and you guys are helping a lot. They're giving a ton of free services out to very young companies and seeing returns from that by those companies who grow up and become great customers down the road. So very cool. So Ryan, from a founder perspective then, were there any instances as you were building your business where a major corporation stepped in and lent a hand, similar to what SendGrid is doing, or do you have any anecdotes of just how big business can come in and really support smaller businesses as they grow?
That's a good question. My first business, no. That's
too bad.
I had to seek advice from competitors. That's where I found my advice. My second company, absolutely, it was a software company. We developed all sorts of applications, web and mobile-based. So there was a lot of startups like SendGrid that offer, not through GAN, but they offer their own plan of, free for 6 months, free for a year. That really helps because, when you're bootstrapping a company and you're spending $20 to $40 a month per head, per service, that's your burn rate right there. So if you're able to get these services for free, like, SendGrids and buffers, and so there's several ways to utilize all this free service to save on your overhead.
Cool. And so the Iron Yard program that's just starting in Vegas, you're launching your first program this year, right?
Monday.
Dun dun dun. And what types of partnerships from companies have you sought out to support the startups in your program? Is there anything in particular that you think every accelerator needs to have or needs to offer?
Yeah, I do. Connections or relationships to organizations in that specific startup's industry. And that's why we decided to go with a vertical model focused on hospitality and gaming, because we have the relationships here. I think that's the biggest advantage, and we'll hear that from a lot of our applicants. Which more important to you, the 25 to 50K or an introduction to the MGM Grand Executive? And he'll always go with the MGM Executive because that's his way where he doesn't need money anymore, and that's a success, and that's a successful program for us then too.
Cool. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. How about I'm going to stick with you, Ryan, for investors or people who are thinking about investing in early stage startups, what's the best way to kind of get involved in that scene? I mean, an accelerator is one vehicle. I don't know. What advice do you have to offer there?
Accelerators are awesome because you're basically investing in teams that are being babysat for 3 to 6 months. You don't get that service otherwise. If you invest in a startup, your money's basically gone. You'll hear about it in 4 to 10 years. So if you invest in startup companies, you know that they're vetted companies. They've been processed, set up correctly. They're all going to be Delaware C Corp, so you can write your checks and be okay with that.
No, that was good.
I think that's it.
Cool. Yeah, so for somebody somebody here at CTIA who's just wanting to figure out, like, okay, how do I crack into this startup space? What should I be doing as a company? Should I be, even caring about what's new and what's innovative from these small companies that are just rising up? They probably care because they're here at the show. So how should they go about that? I'm going to let both of you answer that question.
So accelerators, incubators, and co-working spaces are the easiest to get yourself in front of 10 to 100 startups at one time. AngelList does very good on being able to sort by demographic, by industry. If you're interested in supporting your local startup community, search by region. Look at the startups that excite you, that are building new technology, possibly that you can help, not just write a check with, but connect them to industry partners. F6S is a similar model to AngelList, so you've got access to companies there. But I think a good start is the accelerators and co-working spaces.
Cool. Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, I would really encourage anybody who's thinking about exploring this stuff to get involved with their local tech community. Go to meetups, go out there and meet people that have gone through these programs, that work at these programs. Certainly try to attend a demo day at the end. So that's at the end of a program. All the companies get a few minutes to pitch, and it's great to go there to meet everybody. But through that community, I think that's the best way to kind of suss out and explore if that program's right for you.
Cool. No, that's helpful. From we've got about 5 more minutes here, so I'm just going to keep peppering you guys with questions. So bear with me.
Bring it.
All right. From SendGrid's perspective, so again, to reiterate, you guys started in an accelerator. You've risen up in the ranks so far that you're actually able and really interested in giving back to companies. And you've not just done that through free services, but you're providing mentorship and guidance and a lot of beer, which is great. We're having a happy hour tonight. If anybody wants to join us, come talk to us afterwards. We'd love to see you there. But so you've built an entire program around supporting startups. I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about the development of that startup program. What does that look like for SendGrid? It's not just plugging in with accelerators. You guys are doing a lot of different stuff. So kind of a quick overview of the whole program and how that works.
Yeah, well, our team is really focused on providing as much value to the startups as possible. Because if we're not doing that, then what's the point, right? If the program was just a free email credit machine that anybody could just go to a website and sign up and get that, then my team wouldn't need to be there. So it really is coming from a mentorship place, is the feedback that we've gotten of what the teams and what the programs really want from us. So we've intentionally built the team that I'm on to all of us are from startup backgrounds. About half of us come from engineering and technical backgrounds, and the other half come from more growth, marketing, product, and community building backgrounds. The idea being that we try to bring someone who's technical and someone who's more growth to programs when we meet with the teams to mentor and do office hours. And we're positioned so that we're actually trying to do whatever we can to help startups succeed, not just with emails. So we can draw on all of our wide backgrounds and all of our previous experience to help out those startups. So it's a lot of feedback. We talk to managing directors of our partners to make sure that we are providing value, that we're not going in and just doing a product demo and wearing a suit and then leaving. But we come in and try to give really custom, detailed advice for exactly what the teams need, and that support continues for a full year as well.
Cool. Yeah, it's a very selfless approach that you guys take to helping companies, which I think is great. Techstars coined the give first mentality, and I think that you guys embody that super well. So
yeah, that's certainly a mantra that we really follow a ton.
Cool. Yeah, it's good. But speaking of give first, I think some of the most selfless people out there are those every day who are running accelerator programs, really helping startups. I mean, I know that there's great investments to be made. There's definitely some winners out there, but you're also spending a lot of time just helping entrepreneurs on that journey. So why do you do it?
I actually enjoy it. I enjoy helping someone stop making a bad mistake that could possibly take down the company. That happens in every startup. So beyond enjoying it, I've got a lot of experience in it. I've had some successes, more failures. So I think those failures can help young founders. You definitely don't get rich off the 1% to 2% you're taking from accelerator companies 10 years before they exit. So it is a lot of philanthropic type experience, but it's fun and I enjoy it. And plus you get to work with different companies, different products, different teams, different nationalities. It makes it interesting.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. All right, we've got about a minute and a half left. So let's see. During the Innovation Council meeting on Tuesday, somebody asked this question and I loved it. So for both of you, given unending amounts of investment, a blank check, what's the idea that you're gonna run with this week, today, here at CTIA? You get to go build a business with a blank check from somebody really awesome.
A blank check. I've got a software for Uber for concessions at stadiums. I think I'd like to run with that.
I want to hear more about that. That's really interesting. Tony, what's yours?
I think I'd have to stick with this idea that I pitched at Berlin about 3 years ago. It's called Rare Bites. It's a combination restaurant and endangered game preserve. Because the animals are endangered because they don't survive in captivity. And what do you do with the expired animals? But
you're not eating the animals at the restaurant.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
have you ever had a nice manatee sandwich? It's delicious.
Yikes. It sounds like it could go somewhere, though. I don't know. Maybe.
I always get questions about scaling. Is the questions I get whenever I pitch that.
You're right. That would be a tough one to scale. Cool. Well, thanks you guys so much. Love
welcome.
chatting with you. And please, anybody, if you've got questions about the Iron Yard, about SendGrid, or about the Global Accelerator Network, we'd love to chat with you. So thanks so much.
And,
Thank you.
and come have some drinks with us tonight.
Oh, yeah. Do that. Talk to us about that, too.